This video of a St. John Parish deputy tasing a restrained man raised red flags with the region's top police watchdog, so much so he questioned why Deputy Graylin Burrell, the man you see jamming the taser into Brian Everett's arm, was still employed by the sheriff's office. Today we gave Graylin Burrell the chance to explain what happened. You can see in the video Everett is clearly upset, banging his head, even laying on the floor at one point. That's when deputies try to strap Everett into a restraining chair. At one point, Deputy Burrell aims his taser at the man and lets sparks fly.
Most of the time, that calms a person down because they see the electricity, the sparks. It usually calms most people down, and we do not have to go to that next step. I didn't do it as a threat. It was a verbal command. I advised him to stop, or this is going to be the consequences of it.
That's when he tased Everett. The parish's director of training called that use of force wrong, writing in an email, "We have specifically trained in class against this type of use of force."
I'm not an expert in taser guidelines, but I am knowing it is a compliance tool. And at that time when I used it, he complied. I've been trained on when and when not to use it.
Ultimately, Sheriff Mike Treg suspended Deputy Burrell for 12 hours, not for tasing, but because he used foul language during the incident. Burrell was never reprimanded for using the taser outside of training guidelines. Burrell stands by his use of force, but that's not the entire story. Before he got a chance to work under Sheriff Treg, Graylin Burrell was fired from the sheriff's office in 2010, accused of stealing a wallet from a suspect, put under theft investigation by Internal Affairs, failing 2 polygraph tests, and ultimately dismissed by former Sheriff Wayne Jones.
I said it's time to end it because I've taken this as far as I can go with it. And then for Sheriff Treg to hire him when he came into office was a little surprising.
He's surprised because fewer than 2 years later, Sheriff Mike Treg, who won the office after beating Wayne Jones, rehired Graylin Burrell in 2012. In an interview aired last week, Sheriff Treg told me he never knew about Deputy Burrell's termination.
He was working here for the previous administration. I didn't have any reason not to give the man a job. And then when I became sheriff, I hired him back under my administration.
But he was fired by the previous administration.
I don't have anything to show that he was fired.
After that interview, Fox 8 obtained these documents from Treg, clearly showing Deputy Burrell was fired following his theft investigation. In fact, Sheriff Jones says Sheriff Treg is lying if he claims he didn't know about the termination.
I had numerous conversations with him about Deputy Burrell, and we would kind of monitor his activity. So for him to say that he had no knowledge of what was going on, his position in the sheriff's office as my public information officer and actually internal affairs, he was in that department as well. He had complete knowledge of that.
I spoke to him. He said he resigned. I did not see any official paperwork to show that he was terminated. I didn't have access to any of that.
Sheriff Treg argues that during his transition after winning office, he could not access internal affairs records and admits it was not a smooth transition. But Sheriff Jones claims, records or not, Sheriff Treg knew exactly what happened to Burrell.
It's his decision to bring him back and to retain him, and he'll have to live with that decision. But for him to say that he had no knowledge of it is a complete falsehood.
I've heard stories. I've never seen any facts. You will not see my name on any internal affairs investigation. I'll be here. Go get him. Ask him to come right here right now. I'll be standing right here.
That's when Sheriff Treg, during our interview today, insisted I call Sheriff Jones to include him in the conversation.
Sheriff Treg, Sheriff Jones, Sheriff Treg, how you doing? Could you come to the council chambers so we can do the interview on TV? I'll be standing by.
We can do it like this.
No, sir. Eye to eye, man to man, right here in front of the cameras so we can get this straight. We've been standing by for you, sir. I'm not going anywhere.
In the 5-minute phone call, Sheriff Treg was adamant Jones face him, and Jones offered to hash it out at his house.
We're waiting for you, Sheriff. We're standing right here. I'll be here for the next whatever. Let us know what time you're coming. Sheriff Jones, Mike Trigg, come on, we waiting for you right now. I'm not going anywhere.
Shut up, Craig. I don't want to hear you pull with this, trying to make grandstand with all this.
Sir, you're speaking about my job, my credibility. You're calling me a liar to Channel 8. We're standing right here, right now, waiting for you. Give me a second. Could you please come over here and do the interview? I'll be right here.
Sheriff Trigg points to the upcoming election, saying Jones supports his opponent, which is why he gave us the interview. But Jones says he's more concerned about the people of the parish than the election.
I see no other way. I mean, how are you gonna? I mean, if he's still on the street, and people who have seen his actions and his vulgarity and how he conducts himself, you can't have a person like that serve in the community. No way.
As for Burl, he doesn't think his actions, either in Jones's administration or Tregg's, will affect his position in the community.
After you add your story, I see people in the store, they come and shake my hand. They say, Gorilla, we know who he is. Most people know me, you know me as Deputy Grillenborough, but I'm Reverend Grillenborough to other people. And people see me, they say, Rev, we know that's not you. We know it has more to do with that.
Rob Krieger, Fox 8 News.